Welcome to Omni Wellness Media's Chad Yogi podcast with myself, Chad. Today we have a very special guest on the show. Her name is Kiara Adams. We met Kiara a couple of months ago in doing a feeding scheme in the Rimfasmark, Phumlani Village area. It's close to Lotus River, Grassy Park. And myself and my team, as well as the community at large, fell in love with Kiara's story. Before we start the podcast, please watch the story.
My name is Kiara Adams and I'm 20 years old and I stay in Rimfasmark, Phumlani Village. I want a better life, a life where I see myself living in a normal house, living like normal people, not having to ask for food or money or nappies or whatever necessary needed. I've been living here in Phumlani Village for about 15 years. For me to stay here is not a good choice in future or in life. Almost like in the situation where me and my baby stay in, there's no electricity. It's for me to bother other people for a little boiling water, which is disturbing. And me and my mommy were raising her alone, and her father passed away last year. It's like you are trapped in a corner where there's no way forward, because there's no people really that can give you advice on how to develop yourself or how to upskill yourself or how to move forward in life. Just to have everything that I always wanted in life. For me, there's a lot of young girls going through the same things that I'm going through. And I really want to help them, but for me it's difficult to help them because I need to help myself first. I want to become a psychiatrist to help other people, especially young girls. I want to help them emotionally, physically. That is why we have young girls who commit suicide, who cuts themselves and all that stuff, because there's not really people that they can talk to. Like me, I'm speaking up for myself. But I'm not just presenting myself, I'm speaking up for other girls also around me who's quiet, who's crying in silence, who's not going out moving around, just keeping it for themselves. I didn't finish school to work in a shop or in a store. I want to help people. I'm honest, I want to help people in my community. And I told myself, there is hope in this place.
So now that you know a little bit more about Kiara, we're going to unpack that video and go into more detail and just chat to Kiara so you can learn more about who she is. And today, in the car on the way to the podcast, we discussed so much and we just want to make Kiara's dreams come true. So Kiara, tell us what has happened in your life since the last time we spoke to you.
The life hasn't been changing much. Every day it's like we're living the same, having to wake up thinking where's our next meal coming from, and having to use cold water every day. It's not easy, because for me it makes me feel depressed of what my family is going through, and an innocent child also being involved. I just want to make a difference in my family and in my life. I want to live like there's no tomorrow. I just want to feel happy, being able to do what my heart wants.
And what does your heart want to do?
I just want to study further, become a psychologist, just like I mentioned, like a psychiatrist, which I didn't mean actually by studying medicine, but I actually want to help people in their needs by nutrition and helping them in the emotional herbs of what the spirit really needs, because it's what your soul needs. Your soul needs help, not the medicine.
So we spoke about this as well with regards to psychiatry and psychology, and you told me in the car that a lot of people are given medicines, and sometimes these medicines are too strong. They don't know how to use it, they don't know about dosage. That made me also feel that when you spoke about wanting to become a psychiatrist, is that you really did want to be a psychiatrist, but that you didn't want to give people pharmaceutical medicines. What do you think, the people, of Rimfasmark and people that are living in conditions like this, what do they really need? What is the holistic approach?
What I think they really need is they need nutrition help by herbs. However, most young girls and boys, they get those medicine but they overdose them. Because that problem is not going away, it stays the same. Poverty is not fading away. That medicine is not helping. What people need is help from the inside to become who they want to be.
And the conditions in Rimfasmak, I'm sure, from the video people could see the background. There's no roads, there's no water in most places, there's no toilets. You told me about the toilet issue that you're facing now. So what is life like with it? How does that stop people from being the full version of themselves?
I wouldn't say anything bad, but I'm grateful I have a daughter. However, she was my encouragement. Otherwise, I would have given up long time. To me, it's depressed. It's very depressed. However, I can repeat from myself from the past. I attended school. Sometimes I have to go to school without bathing. I just have to cover my skin, put on clothes to cover me. And there were days when I haven't even eaten, like for a week or so. And then I just have to put on a smile. So for me to fight fire with fire is no use. Like especially in our community, when there's no water, you just have to accept there's no water. When there's no electricity in your house, you just have to accept it. But to me, I just felt like I can stand up against those. I can make a difference. I can be a better person. I can encourage my community that there is life after poverty.
And the promise that I made to you, and I'm on camera here, and I did tell you this in the car, and you actually called me to hold me accountable, because what happened was, after we did the video, I didn't go to Rimfasmak to do the video about Kiara. As I said, it was about the food, the feeding scheme with Where Rainbows Meet. And a big shout out to Where Rainbows Meet. Thank you so much for all that you do for our community. I didn't get your number, right?
Yes.
And then we released the video. The video went viral. Someone, actually, do you want to tell us a story about how you found out about the video?
Like I was walking down the road, I don't know where, I was on my way, and then this girl who I don't even know, she came to me and she's like, "Aren't you that girl on TikTok?" And I'm like, "Me on TikTok?" And she's like, "Yes, see your video." And I was surprised because I inspired many people out there. I didn't even know that is gonna happen, like where I encourage other people, telling my story to them.
That's super inspirational, and we received so many messages that came through to me, and I didn't really know what to do because I'm busy with a lot of projects, and then people was asking me for your number, and I didn't have your number, and they also wanted to make donations, and I don't want to receive donations on behalf of you if I don't have your number.
Yes.
And just last week, Kiara got a phone. And she got onto social media, and then she found me.
Yes.
So phone is also something that's very important, right?
Yes.
How important is it to have technology?
It's very important. It connects you to people worldwide. It opens up literally doors for you. It helps you with literally everything.
And then you got hold of me?
Yes,
and
I got
Kiara
hold
was
of
like,
you, yes.
Kiara was
and
like,
I was
chat,
following you.
followed me, she's messaged me,
Yes.
and then I was like, yes, now I can do something.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Kiara and I said, okay, let's do the podcast. Let's do the podcast.
Yes.
And let's follow up and re-engage the community. And whoever was inspired by that video, please leave a comment in the section below. Let us know. Let's get back in contact with Kiara. I will also share. Is it okay if I share your number?
Yes.
I will share Kiara's details so you can get into contact with her. But I and my team, we discussed this with Kiara to do this properly and to really make this something that's sustainable. We are going to work together, and we are going to firstly, Kiara's accepted that before we apply for any scholarships, the psychiatry and psychology scholarships, we're first going to do an online bridging course.
Yes.
So that's step number one. After this podcast, myself and Kiara and Abby, we're going to sit down, we're going to chat and see, have a look for an online course, and I'm very excited about that. How does that make you feel, by the way? What do you think that's a good first step?
It's a step forward into a new future, into a new life. It makes me feel much better to know that there is good people like Abby and Chad who is willing to help me.
Oh, Thank you, Kiara. I'm supposed to be shy now. Yeah. So that's our plan of action, community. Please let us know as well. If there's anything that you can do to assist us as well, or if you want to share with us, or if you want to meet with us and collectively we can sit and see what we're going to do. And I told Kiara as well, I said, I would like to do this for you because Kiara was already saying, I want to do things for the community. And I said, look, I'm doing this for you. So you can do this for the community. So we're going to work very carefully and strategically and really make Kiara's dreams come true. And something that's beautiful about Kiara that I really like is that besides a good way of articulating and a heart and an energy, is that she's really hungry. I told her, Kiara, you actually reached out to me. You told me, in a sense, what you want. You told the community what you want. And now it's our responsibility to assist in making your dreams come true. So yeah, it's nice when you're doing this community work as well, that you know that it's coming from both sides. Because sometimes you want to do something for someone, and then they're just not ready to receive.
Yes.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about who you have in your hand over here, because I didn't even introduce her to the community. Can I introduce her? You can introduce her. Just tell people who she is.
Okay, this is Faith Hope Adams. She's 2 years old, and me and she, we literally see one birthday, and our birthday was on New Year's Day.
Oh wow, happy birthday! On New Year's Day?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And Faith was, I put Peppa Pig on for Faith, Peppa Pig, the cartoon, and then we gave Faith a nice desk with Peppa Pig and yogurt, and Faith was just not having it, so Faith is on camera, doing a thing here, and it's all okay because this is natural, and we want to make this podcast as natural as possible, real. We can feel each other and just, in a sense, have a conversation and get the people also to feel that this is us in front of the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about some of the issues. I don't want to talk about problems too much, man. I want to talk now about what do you see can be done in the area, because obviously, in order to solve something, you first have to look at what the problem is. So what do you think, if you could do 3 things in the community, what's the first 3 things that you're going to work on?
If you do something, you have to be an example. You have to show people that it is possible. Nowadays, people don't just listen to what you are saying. They rather listen and see what you are doing. So actions speak louder than words.
Amen.
So if I could do things, I would do things like maybe in a better way by...
Like what would you do? For example, you spoke about there's a high dropout rate. So obviously the kids are not going to school. So what do you think we can do with the kids, maybe to encourage them to stay in school longer? What are the issues that we can deal with directly? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but I think this is good, man. Just to also, nothing's prepared here. We're talking things into existence now.
I think young girls and boys need more attention. So maybe just even if it's extra classes that is maybe once a week or however, just so that you can identify more problems and how to solve it. Sometimes girls or boys just go to school, but the problem that they are facing, they don't trust anyone, so they don't speak up, and that is what affects you the most, because you can't concentrate in school. So what do? You drop out, you leave school because you are facing too many things. Because you feel like nobody would understand your story, nobody would listen to your needs. It sounds like a joke or something, but it doesn't make sense. So that's why I said most young people, they decide to use drugs in our communities to feed their family or to be sustainable to themselves. But that is not actually the way things should be done. It should be done differently, like completing your dreams that you want to achieve.
How was school for you? Because I know people say, for me, I had some sort of infrastructure. There was a counselor. I went to a Model C school, Muizenberg High. And I grew up in Strandfontein, and obviously I had, life wasn't easy, but it was easier than for the kids growing up in Rimfasmak. So for you, as a child that grew up, in these conditions, how was it to attend school? Was it
to attend school, especially if you're from Rimfasmak,
yes.
Phumlani Village, it's not easy. So I would understand if a girl or a boy tells me they drop out, because the love like that is no way. Like especially when it's winter time and it's raining, like there's a river near to our house. So when it's raining, the floods. So when I attended school, I literally had to walk through that water. And when I get to class, I'm like wet. So I just have to sit with that wet clothes in class and just act like it's nothing. And some people, I don't know how they get the right to still go to school, but it's hard to go to school. Maybe sometimes there was times when they didn't have stationery, and then I just had to write all my schoolwork on page and study it just like that, just to get it on with the test. And then there was times when I had to stay absent. However, maybe I got sick or somehow.
Sure.
But it's not easy, it's very difficult.
And so you say, what you're saying is that a lot of people see the children as lazy, or that they drop out of school, but actually there's a reason behind it, that school is actually not easy.
Yes.
And I mean, does the school help? Does the government help? What help is there? Did you ever ask for help?
There was help once, but then I'm not speaking against it, but then our principal, like literally, he kicked out that NPO. Like we as young girls that time, I think I was grade 10. I was in the NPO for 3 years.
In a non-profit organization?
Yes.
Was it a program that they ran?
Yes. And then we were standing for us, where you had to like protect your rights, and we were fighting against the thing that girls aren't allowed to wear long pants. And we were like asking the principal, but why aren't we allowed? And then he said, how would we identify who is a male or a female? But then we said, however the windows is broken, girls are getting cold, so why aren't we allowed to wear pants? And then he's like, no, it's not allowed. And then he closed that project.
So there's a lot of misunderstanding,
Yes,
and a lot
yes.
of ignorance, if I may call it.
Yes.
That, yeah. How many students were in your class? Was the classes big?
I would say it's big enough for all of us, yes.
Okay. How many students were in your class on average?
On average, like 40.
40.
Yes.
40 and up.
Yeah.
And the teachers at your school, could they manage the students?
Yes, they do manage, yes.
Okay, so the school was fine. They tried as much as they could.
Education is always the best at that school, always. But the misunderstanding came in when we actually tried to stand up for the girls, because it's cold. Like now, they're only allowed to wear pantyhose in certain terms.
Okay.
So I was like trying to fight against it, me and our group, but we failed. We even got survey proof to show that most girls agree to what we are trying to achieve, and somehow it just got kicked out.
At school as well, is there anything that you remember that really stuck out? What can you remember about your school experience?
Like, there was one thing that inspired me, was that there was this girl in my class. She was like bullying me, and I didn't know how to handle this problem. And then I told my teacher, her name is Miss Olivier, I told her. And then I went with my parents the next day, because I know this bullying is not good. Because I know what is the reflex of it. It affects you of not going to school or just missing the classes. However, you're just afraid for this person. And then I went to my principal, and I didn't expect this from him. And he took my side, and he said, if bullying doesn't stop from her side, then she would have to just take a step back from achieving some things that she wants to do. Because bullying is a huge effect on everyone, especially if you come from a family or from a struggle of life, and you're having to go to school. Maybe you just don't feel good because you maybe don't have food in the house, or there's nothing really that makes you feel good about going to school. And you sit in class, obviously you will get bullied because you feel different. You feel different from others. You feel always left out. Like I never really had friends on school, because I was always sidelined. I was always like the girl that is quiet, the one that always said forget her, she doesn't look that good. But I didn't care about it because my main aim was just to finish grade 12 and to be a better person afterwards. That is why I feel strongly to encourage other people about what life is and how they can change.
It's amazing. And once you finish grade 12, did things become easier? Because a lot of people say, oh, you must finish matric, but then people finish matric, but then it's still
the same, yes.
okay. So you thought it's going to be different, right? Did you feel like after you finished school, like it was in a sense like a little bit of a lie because you finished school? Was there a job opportunity available? Did you have support moving forward?
When I finished my grade 12 in 2022, I had thoughts of I could achieve anything. But then when I made my CV, I was excited. I dropped it in by different workplaces. But then I realized it's no use having grade 12, but you don't have skills that shows that you did study further. And the first thing they ever ask you when you apply for a job is, do you have skills? Have you studied further? Then I would like respond as no. But then that is actually the thing that is holding me back from becoming what I want to be.
And obviously to go to university after school, I'm assuming, or was there money to go to university? Did you try to apply, or what was your strategy, or did you just apply for work?
I actually couldn't apply for university. Technology for me was low. It's not like I had a phone at that time. I didn't have connections. I didn't have people at that time that can show me, that can lead me really. And for me it was like difficult. Most people told me search online and do that, but then I just didn't know how.
Sure.
Because there was no guidance for me. So I was like, man, it's fine, I will just get a job and work. But then I tell myself that is not actually what I wanted to do after life, because it took me many years to get where I am today. So I can't just give up like that or just settle for something.
And I'm going to go into little one over here, you know, because what I see a lot when I'm also doing community projects, and I'm sure you go through it as well, you've been through it, is that a lot of young girls then, you know, they fall pregnant, they have kids. If I may ask you, I know it's a personal question, but I think it will inspire people and also inspire other young mothers like you. Can you tell us like why you had your baby maybe? Or because a lot of people are probably thinking, yeah, maar hoekom het jy 'n kind and you're making your life more difficult. But can you tell me the you know what happened? Or because obviously a child is a blessing, and don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But obviously, you know, when you don't have a job and life is hard, and then you have a baby, people think, but why did you have the baby? Then can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Me and my friend, we actually discussed this a few weeks ago. She also has a child. And then I told her, like, that time when I got pregnant, our house did burn down. So we literally like lost everything in that fire. And then her father actually, he offered me a place to sleep.
Is this before you were pregnant?
Yes,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I'd stay there. And suddenly it just happened. But it's not like I didn't take note of doing things that I was supposed to do to prevent it. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was a bit upset, but I was happy because I knew it was a blessing. It's going to encourage me more to not give up. And then I went to school. Teachers found out I was pregnant, and then this principal like told me something that really hurted me. He told me like, you should stay at home for another year because baby needs more attention. And I told him, but no sir, I'm grade 11, I want to finish this. I started it, so I must complete my goal. And then he was surprised because January on the 1st, I got her. And then I went to school on the 13th. I went back to school. In that same month when I gave birth to her, I went back. Because I knew I wanted this. I know what I want.
Yeah,
Because I knew I just knew that matric is important to me. Because I struggle a lot and I don't want to struggle forever. So I just went back to school as soon as I gave birth.
And tell us a little bit about dad. Is dad in baby's life? What happened after? Because you said that there was a fire, and then obviously dad said you can come stay by him, and then you fell
Yes.
pregnant. Do you want to talk about the relationship that you have? Because look,
Yeah.
I don't see, I don't want to demonize anyone.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Everyone has their own circumstances, but
Yeah.
there's also a reason why things happen.
Yes.
Can you maybe talk about Dad and the relationship that you had, and does he play a role in baby's life?
To be honest, he was a good person. He was very supportive through everything that I did. And then they came once when she was 1 month old. Then he decided he would go home to Eastern Cape, and then he would come back. But then I got a call on the end of the year in December, the week before Christmas. I got a phone call to say that he passed away.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And the week before mine and her birthday, they had his funeral. So it was difficult for me to travel all the way till there because I didn't have the money. So I just got a video of his funeral, and then I just had to accept it. And I was grade 12 when I found out that her father passed away. So for me it was painful because for 2 or 3 months I was just waiting on this person to come back. But now I'm sitting with the thoughts of he's no longer coming back, so I have to move on. I have to find my own way of helping my child and feeding her. So I have to stand as mom and dad.
Sure. How did he die?
He got, like his family said, he was sitting with his cousins, and then one of the cousins' partners came and accidentally stabbed him.
Accidentally?
Yes. Like he covered someone and then he got.
Okay. Sure. And she obviously has. Sure.
And she doesn't understand anything.
And you're gonna have to tell her one day.
I must, yes. I must.
But you have good memories of him as well.
Yes.
But as well, it seems like, from what you're saying, he
Yes.
was there.
Yes, he was there. He was a very good person. That is why, sometimes I wake up, then I'm just crying, because it's emotional to think that I am really so strong, and I don't even notice it, because to think I still smile every day, and I still face the same things every day. But then I ask myself, God, what is your plan for me? Because still you're protecting me, and still you're encouraging me and giving me the oxygen to breathe every day, which means you do have a plan for me. We all are placed on this earth with a certain goal to be done until it's done.
Sure. So you believe in God? Because
Yes.
I could feel the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And when I met you the first time, I remember in the car I told you, I was in the car and I said, Kiara, when I met you, the first time I went to Rimfasmark to do the story with Where Rainbows Meet, for Where Rainbows Meet, I just felt, you feel like spirit, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure everyone at home we can relate to this.
Yes.
Sometimes we feel that there's a message or that something needs to be done. And I really think that I don't think that God sent me on your path to help you. I think what I feel is that God sent you to help me and help other people wake up.
Yes.
Because you tell your story so well, man, and I can feel your spirit, and I can feel your energy, and I can feel your passion. And the video that we did with you, it went viral. It got close to 100,000 views. It was so viral that someone found you to tell you that you're on the video.
Yes, yeah.
So
And
that must be God, right? That must be some people listened.
yes, because most people in my community, they told me, you know what? I'm very proud of you.
Oh, wow.
Because you spoke up for us. No matter what other people say, I'm happy that you did it. Most people tell me they are very happy that I made that video, because now they feel like their voices are also being heard, because I speak for one and one for all.
And how does it feel to speak for all of that people? And how did it feel when they told you this? How did you feel?
I actually just felt proud of myself.
And tell us a little bit about your relationship with faith.
Faith was
I was singing for faith earlier. You gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. Is that the song as well you played for? That George Michael song? You must play it. I would have played for earlier. I would say, Faith, here's your name. Come see.
Okay, so Faith actually got sick like last year, like 4 to 5 months ago. So she had a runny tummy. So I actually thought like it was the teeth that was growing, but I was wrong. When I rushed her to hospital that night, that was last year, so the doctor told me that she has diarrhea. So diarrhea was caused by low malnutrition. She didn't get enough food that she was supposed to. And for now, almost the 6 months, we are getting milk to feed her. But then the dietitian told me on last weekend Friday that if she doesn't get up weight enough, they are going to send her back to Victoria because her weight is important.
Yeah.
So that is so she's more attached to me than to anyone else.
Yeah, I can see the bond and the love that you have. And sometimes, I'm sure that as a mother, when the doctor told you that, how did you feel? Did you feel like it was you, or did you just how did you feel as a mother? Because I know, I can see the relationship you have with your child, and that you love your child, and that you'll do anything for her.
Yes.
So when the doctor told you that, how did that make you feel?
I actually felt a little bit weak, but I had to be strong because I told myself I was just a bit afraid to tell her my situation, because nowadays people don't think before they do something. Like social workers would just come in our community and take your child away from you, and I just trying my best to protect her, but in a way we are struggling, and that struggle is just not affecting me, it's affecting her and my mom.
And your mom? Want to tell us a little bit about her? How's your relationship, and does she assist you?
She assists me a lot. She was actually the one who encouraged me to do everything. She encouraged me to go to school. Like when I was pregnant, she would sit with me in the office while I write my exam. She's always the one who encouraged me at home and say, you know why I love you? Because you've gone through so much, but still you don't give up. And that is what I admire about you. And at this moment, she's at home waiting for me. But she's the best mom ever.
Amazing.
Yes, because she's the one who encouraged me a lot and tells me how things happen. And she would tell me, Kiara, it's part of life, but don't give up.
Tell us a bit about one of the organizations that I love very much.
Where Rainbows Meet.
Where Rainbows Meet. That's the one. I didn't even have to mention the name.
Okay.
Maimuna, Carl,
So,
the team. Aren't they? Just tell us about them. Tell the community about them, because I think it's also, time to just
yeah.
speak our hearts with regards to what they do. What amazing work, eh?
Yes, so I met Rainbows Meet when I was, I think I was 17, I was 17 years old.
And now you're 21, so about 5
21.
years ago?
Yes.
More or less.
Yes, and there was this woman, she's beautiful. And she was sitting there playing the guitar and with this guy next to her, and they were giving out food.
In Rimfasmark?
Yes, in Rimfasmark. And then I went, and we went every day, and they gave juice. Then where Rainbows Meet, they have developed so good that they started to giving out more food. And what I like about Rainbows Meet is they keep their promises. So every year, it doesn't matter if it's raining or what. A week before Christmas, they would give out gifts to people, especially the kids. And that is really what steals my heart from them, because we don't know what people is facing. But still, there is this NPO that always come, even if it's one day in a week. But they do come and they try their best to feed the community. And most times they do give nice stuff. So we actually encourage our people in the community to do go and support them. And
it's not just any boarding course, they make nice food.
yes,
I've seen that. I was like,
yes.
the food is really nice. So we give
Yes.
thanks to them. Eh?
So my name is Kyle Luke Cupido, and I'm the project manager at Rainbows Meet. So today we went to the community called Rimfasmark, the community we fell in love with back in 2020.
The community we're going to now is called Phumlani. No? The community is called Phumlani, but the center where we're going is called Rimfasmark. And the living conditions as well. It's so poor for the kids, and like sometimes when we come there, dishing out food, the dirt was just everywhere. And then we have to work in these conditions. It's only now recently that some of the shacks got electricity and there's no running water, so they will walk like a distance to get running water. And they basically depend on the organization to come in and give them some food, because if we don't go there, no one else is gonna go there.
It's always such a pleasure and a privilege to go back there just to feed the people of that community. The nutrition program has expanded all the way to that area out of the huge outcry and need for food security in that community. And yeah, the people face insurmountable challenges in that community, and so the least we can do is just go feed them once a week. Unfortunately, resources doesn't allow us to go there more, but we are trying to raise more funds so we can go there more and feed more people and reach more beneficiaries as well. So this is sampan beans. People in the community prefer sampan beans. They're not choosy, so whatever we bring is fine with them. But the reason why they prefer this, it's very filling. So if you bring soup, the soup goes very quickly. You can get one meal out of it, but this they can at least feed the family with it. It's always fulfilling coming here, week after week. We've been here for the last 3 years, but every time we come here, the feeling doesn't change, because we know the need, we know the outcry, especially for food security. That's only one of the things that we can support with, or we do support with, but the community needs so much more psychosocial support. They need just simple things like electricity and running water. You know that it's very difficult for them to access when the service delivery is so poor in this community. So yeah, we always look forward to coming here, even if we can just render a service like feeding. You know, feeding minimizes and it reduces the criminality in the community, because people go out and they go steal just to have something to eat.
You will always hear them say thank you. Like sometimes people don't say thank you if you give them stuff, but these people,
Always.
if you take that package, you will always hear them say
So those
thank
who
you.
need it the most?
The reason why I think why the feeding process is important in communities like this is because I don't think about the adults, but I think about the kids, and my heart goes out to that community.
I just want to say hi, Kyle and Maimuna, and on behalf of the community and myself, I want to say thank you to the Where Rainbows Meet NPO in Capricorn for supporting our community and helping the kids and the people, and not just feeding us, but also you gave a program to the women and encouraged them. You gave them computer skills and everything that you could in your power to encourage them to do something in life. I just want to say thank you, and I love you all, guys.
Thank you very much, Auntie Maimuna, from the Omni Wellness Media team. We'll always be there for you. Thank you so much for what you do for the community. We love you. And to all those watching, please get in contact with Where Rainbows Meet. Visit them. See what they do. Join a program. It's not difficult. You just have to make a start. It's a call away. If you do something once a week, you think you're doing it to help others, but it changes you as a person. You start seeing life through a total different lens. Yes. So yeah, on behalf of myself and Kiara, we just had to have that moment to also say thank you to Where Rainbows Meet. Kai Gangans, thank you. Yeah. It's nice to just be like when we're there, man.
Yes.
We can share, I think that's why social media and technology is so important, because it makes the world a smaller place, right? Like without that, you couldn't get hold of me.
Yes. True.
Yeah. So myself and Kiara, what we want to, like an immediate call to action is we would like to get Kiara to do a course that she can do before the psychiatry or psychology course, because we're not 100% sure if we're going to get into psychology or psychiatry school, but we can do an online certified course where she can get the skills that's needed to start. So I think that is task number one, to get a laptop. Yes. And then to get some internet connection, and then I and Kiara as a team, we're going to complete that course.
Yes.
I can't help too much now. You smart enough, you're probably going to teach me, but I will be there to facilitate.
Yes.
And then what we can tell the community is we're going to complete that course, right?
Yes.
Let's do it, man. We got it. We got this, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's any courses that the community feels, if you want to suggest a course that we can do as a bridge for Kiara to then go into psychiatry, into psychology, please let us know. Please tag all your psychology and psychiatry contacts and friends, and let's see if you can maybe assist us to get them involved, and collectively we can make this difference. And that's why Omni Wellness Media was born. It was born to do this, to have these conversations, to make things happen in real life. What do you think about the channel so far, and what do you think about the work?
It's actually good.
Yes.
It inspires me. It shows me what type of person you are. You are really a good person. And the way you help others, I know somehow you will get blessed. Even if it's not from people, but from God mostly, for doing your work on earth.
Thank you, Kiara, man. You know, and we're gonna help you do your work, and together we do things together.
Yes.
As long as you guarantee me that what we're gonna do together, the community is gonna benefit, then I'm happy.
Yes.
On camera, super live.
Yeah.
Tell us what you enjoy doing. Like, what would you like to do besides like the work thing? Because when we arrived here, we're shooting from Muizenberg. This place here's my flat, or my partner's flat. And I'm sure you were like obviously you looked around and you asked me how is it to live in Muizenberg?
Yes.
What do you want? Like,
Actually, I would prefer for at first stage a better environment, because I think a better environment gives you a clean mindset. It encourages you more and shows you that you are moving forward. There is something happening that is taking place.
Your environment is important, eh?
Environment is important.
So when you told me earlier, you were obviously saying that this is like a sort of environment that you'd like to live in.
Yes.
In a sense, and we'll make it happen. Yeah. Education. Why is education the most important thing? And I want you to look at the camera again, if you don't mind. I'm putting you on the spot here, and maybe just talk to the kids that are on the Cape Flats in the township. And just remember, community, of our population, between 70 and 80% of our population, live on the Cape Flats and in townships. So Kiara is not speaking to the few. Kiara is actually speaking to the majority. Would you like to give them a message?
Yes. Education is the key, and the key is the knowledge. Without education, it's a more bit tough. So no matter what you are going through, just never give up. No matter what you are facing, just keep your head up high and complete what needs to be done.
And in your work that you're doing, because you want to go into psychiatry and psychology, what do you see yourself like doing? Do you see yourself like running programs, or what's your vision with your psychiatry or psychology degree? What are you going to do, let's say, in Rimfasmak?
I see myself like maybe my own office, and helping people that was previously maybe disadvantaged, like encouraging them, hearing their side of the stories, and trying to help them.
Implementing some projects? A few projects? What project would you start off with? Do you think it's like girls like you that have gone through what you've gone through, or do you think you just want to have something for the community as a whole, where people can come and then speak, and that you can listen to them and then assist them with maybe joining a project?
Yes, I would prefer like it can be anyone, because I don't know what my strength is, but what I do know about myself is I'm a very well-known person, and I have such a good communication with people. I can walk anywhere else, it doesn't matter where I'm going. People just love me for my respect and my good communication that I have with them.
So you want to use that communication skill and empower other people through communication.
Yes.
Is communication a problem? Do people communicate? Do people know how to communicate in Rimfasma?
They will listen to something, but they won't speak it. They won't say it with words. And most others is like they say they're gonna speak up for themselves, but then they don't do it.
Tell us who your inspiration is, like someone who you look up to, that inspires you, and why?
Okay, there is someone that inspires me, and that is you. You, yes, is Chad. You inspire me. There is so many things that we are facing in life that others don't notice what we are going through, and then you came and you changed that environment. And when I did some follow-ups on your videos that you post on TikTok, it just showed me that you are interested in what we are facing, what we are going through, and you are trying your best to help us. That is why I'm saying thank you for helping me and others out there.
Oh, thank you as well. I feel like very touched. There was a part of me that was wanting to say, please don't say me, because I don't want to, like, sometimes we have also our ego, and I don't want to blow my own horn, and I don't want to be the star of my own show and whatever else. But I receive what you said, and I thank you, and you inspire me too, and that's why we're doing the podcast, and we're gonna make amazing change together.
Yes, I believe, yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yes, thank you.
That was episode 3 of the Chad Yogi podcast. As raw and as beautiful as we could bring it across. Thank you so much for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.